It's Friday, July 25th, 2025. We are still seeing a constant flow of severe weather, major flooding, and extreme heat is still looking to even be getting worse than this last week. First of all, I want to show you where we're going to start seeing a lot of our severe weather over the next month. It's just starting over here and sliding down. It's pretty much the same as some of my other videos I showed it, but it's still looking like we're gonna see that same pattern come, and then we might see some more severe weather over here too. You can see today we have a marginal risk all the way across here in the Ohio and portions of the upper Ohio Valley, and then you can see we have over here a slight risk, and then over here a slight risk. We do have a somewhat of a tornado threat right here and right here, but it's pretty limited. I still think tornadoes are possible though today. Tomorrow we have another marginal risk over in the upper Ohio Valley, and then we also have a big marginal risk here tomorrow. Same thing, we do have a slight tornado threat with this, but it's not that big at all. And then Sunday, it's another big marginal risk up here. I think this might be upgraded to a slight. I would keep an eye on it. But as of now, it doesn't look like it'll be too bad. Now I'm going to talk about flooding. You can see we have a major risk for flooding today, a moderate risk. If you're in this moderate risk, I would be if you are in a flood prone area, I would be flood aware, and I would make sure that you're receiving flood warnings, and if you are, be prepared to evacuate today. If you end up getting a flood warning, then in the slight risk, it's still the same way, but it's not as concerning. And then tomorrow we have just a bunch of marginal risks. The next day on Sunday, we have a slight risk over here. I would be prepared for that. And then the next day on Monday, we have a big marginal risk here, and then another marginal risk over here. And then on Tuesday, we have another big marginal risk, and a lot of these will probably get upgraded. I'm not really sure exactly what they'll get upgraded to, and they move a lot. But if you're in these areas, I would still be aware for flooding in your area. Now I'm going to talk about the major heat risk. It's gonna start settling down for the week in our area. You can see we still have some major heat risks over here in our area. We still have a heat advisory in our area, but it's not as bad as the other days. Saturday it gets even better for our area, and I don't even think we'll have a heat advisory tomorrow for that. And then Sunday, it's when we start to get more heat again, and then it just keeps getting worse. Monday, you can see now our whole area is surrounded by a red area, which is major, so that's concerning. I bet we could have a heat advisory and even a heat warning for that. Tuesday's looking like the worst day. We have a lot of areas around our area with the extreme heat risk, so I would think that we're gonna get a warning, extreme heat warning for that. And then Wednesday, it's a little better, but it's still in our area. It's the same deal. And then after that, we're gonna have a very fast cold front that comes through, and it's gonna cause most of the heat to go away with heat indexes only in 95. Before that, we were seeing heat indexes up to 110, so that's concerning. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, July 30th to August 3rd. So you can see there's a below average over here and above average over here, and that's why we're seeing severe weather in this area here, like all over here and maybe some over here, because you can see we have the battle zone between those over here. So we're going to see a lot of severe weather in this area, not a whole bunch in our area, but some. And the main area is going to be over here, so I would still be prepared for some severe weather. And then after that, it's interesting that what happens next. We have below average temperatures in our area, and that's been something that we haven't had in a while. And we're gonna have highs from anywhere from 80 to like lower 80s to high 70s in our area. Another thing I want to talk about is the risk for tropical systems. You can see we have this, a 10% chance of a tropical cyclone forming in the next 7 days. It's very unlikely, only a 10% chance, but it gets interesting for the Eastern Pacific. You can see we have a 30% chance within the next 7 days here, and then we have a 50% chance of a tropical cyclone forming in the next 7 days here. This one looks more likely to hit Hawaii if it actually comes that far. This one looks like it'll just go that way. So I think Hawaii is safe for this one, but this one, if it actually forms, Hawaii might be in danger, but the chances of Hawaii getting hit are pretty small. And that is all the weather talk I have for you today. Please subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on. That way you don't miss out on any of my videos. And again, if there is any severe weather in our area, David Powell will be going live with Weather and Wisdom. And I hope to see you on Tuesday. Goodbye. I'll see you in the next one.